a Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
For residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Isn't it fantastic? You guys are fantastic. That's what's fantastic. How are you guys doing tonight? Mark, Craig, Amy. Good news. Good news. Let's see. I'm going to hear something about Mafia, I think, from Good News. Serene. How's it going? Serene. Lynn, Bush. Michael Stewart. I haven't seen you around in a little while, Michael. How are you doing? I haven't been over to check out your channel. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Our friend, oh, dear. How's it going? Bruce. Who is Sister C? Me? Sister C, are you on the sister server? Sister C? Sister Serene, Christine? All right, so I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to suffer through the last 2 live streams. Again, I'm trying to demonstrate, Bobby, what's happening. Trying to demonstrate that the RCMP equally suffer under this system terribly. The regular member underneath the white shirt mafia. I don't know, I should get a nickname for those people. Maybe white shirt mafia? That seems kind of fitting. So I get a message this morning from none other than Tara. Nothing's changed. Same idiots running the nut house. You're working on it. Great. Awesome. Love to see you in there. I'm sure they would be very happy. I will have no idea because I don't know. I don't have the same parts. I can't join. So, but here they're doing really great work over there. So many thanks to all the sisters over there. Going to break it up and destroy it. Let's cut the shit. Isn't Morneau at the end of his rope? Lad, what's happening? Little Miss So still around. I believe I've seen her around. She comes in videos from time to time. And I don't think she's on the Discord stuff. Again, if you guys want, please feel free to come and join us on the unisexual, or sorry, not unisexual. What do you want to call that? Co-ed. The co-ed server. I don't know. Just the ball busting server. See if we can get a link here for you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Guys having a good weekend? Had some great chats again today. Spent a lot of time on the phone, and that's the way I work. Derek, what's happening? What's happening, Derek? I had a good call from Derek. It was good to hear from him. So please feel free to come in and join. If you want to be a shitbird, that's great too. People will just start ignoring you. Now, because of course there's going to be the moles in there. There are the moles in there. Sad. Anyways, those moles. Let's see. I think I had 1 downvote, 2 downvotes. I wonder who those people are. They just like the shit system. Derek's still alive. Oh, he's still alive. Still kicking. Now, how am I going to lead into this? So the stories I've been talking about the last couple of days have just been trying to frame a picture so that I can hopefully reach the RCMP members that are obviously very good and dedicated to their job and want to do great things and help out their communities and help out Canadians, but live in a real shit system and are afraid, to be honest with you. And I'm not meaning that lightweight. I mean, these people are a mafia. So to better demonstrate their stories so that the rest of Canadians understand. So I've been speaking about an individual named Mike Frizzell for the last couple of videos and kind of shown that there was a story that I framed, which was fraud on a major level, lying to Parliament, the Commissioner, Zacharaldi. Well, Zacharaldi, not so much, but Zacharaldi was definitely involved. This is an older story. However, we brought it up to speed 2017 in the second video last night. And currently, I believe there is a lawsuit sitting before our collectively, our courts, which we pay for, right? Our RCMP member that we medically gave a discharge to because we called him mental after awarding him a whistleblowing award because he spoke the truth and did his job well. Right? Because I'm very much about personal responsibility. We fired him, right? And made him literally stick him on mental leave. I think it was for 9 years, right away. And also the other 4 people who were involved really got the shaft too. One of them, they were told their job was no longer viable or some nonsense. And another person also got a medical discharge. Just absolute. And another one was retiring anyway. And somebody else moved over to the highest person involved. They moved over to the Department of Defense. But they seem very good. So that brings us up to speed. Hopefully you guys have a chance to suffer through those. I do, once again, apologize about, hell, I wouldn't want to listen to myself. Now, I get a message today. Very insightful, of course, as everybody is, right? And I never thought of this. Well, the message comes from Tara. And Tara says, let's see, what does she say? I just want to make sure I'm quoting it correctly, so I'm not. I don't like to misquote people. Watching part 1 of the decal video, just wondering if the pension fund scandal was run through Morneau Chappelle, and I was like, ooh, wouldn't that be interesting? So I did, of course, go and look. Let's pull up here a couple of things. Let's go through the Auditor General's report. Should we do that one first? Well, I brought up, actually, maybe we can do it this way first. I'm not the most organized. You guys know that, right? And I do appreciate how awesome you guys are dealing with my disorganization. This is the pension for the RCMP. Down here at the bottom, you can see something, right? 2003 to 2020, Morneau Chappelle. Ooh. So this is their login site. Now let's go over to the Auditor General's report, because we're going to go back in time. Try my best to read this again. 2006 November report of the Auditor General of Canada, Chapter 9, Pension and Insurance Administration, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Main points. In 2003, allegations of fraud and abuse in the management of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police's pension and insurance plans triggered an internal audit. Because somebody, a good woman, found that. I'm not remembering her name. Very good. Discovered this. Brought it to some people's attention. Which was followed by a criminal investigation by the Ottawa Police Services. In June 2005, moving along very rapidly, of course, as all these things seem to, with the Rcmp and police services investigating themselves, the OPS announced that its 15-month investigation had found abuses of the pension and insurance plans, nepotism, wasteful spending, and override controls and management. Significant unnecessary or wasteful expenditures resulted, including money spent for the work of little value. The Crown Counsel advised that there was, quote, no reasonable prospect of conviction on criminal charges. So you advised that there was no reasonable expectation of charges for anything against you. You understand the logic? However, 2 senior officials with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police resigned, and the RCMP considered disciplinary action against others. So we have no reasonable prospect, and we also have the consideration nonsense. Just consider. We'll think about that one. Just like Mr. Bishop, or sorry, Mr. Peter Allen Griffin, right? Nobody's going to get charged in any of these fucking things. None of them. We examined whether the RCMP has responded adequately to the findings of the internal audit and criminal investigation. We examined certain amounts spent on pension and insurance administration. We also examined additional allegations that were brought to our attention during the course of our audit. Finally, we looked at whether the OPS investigation was independent. What are you talking about? Like the shit independent? You know, the cert shit independent? Hey, G, what's going on? Lisa. Lorraine. And conducted without undue direction or bias by the RCMP. Is the Ottawa Police Services getting steered by the RCMP? Say it ain't so. Can't possibly be. What news, as East Coast would say. While this chapter refers to certain organizations outside the government of Canada, it must be noted that our conclusions about management practices and actions refer only to those public servants. Those of public servants. We do not audit the records of external organizations. Hey, Steve. Good old shit. Yeah, good old shit. I like that one. Consequently, our conclusions cannot and do not pertain to the practices that the external organizations, followed. The RCMP pension plan is separate from public service pension plan. It is governed by the RCMP. Oh my God, what is this? Super Annuitation Act? Oh Lord. They love these big words, but they don't even know what they mean. And provides pension benefits to all its employees classified as regular and civilian members of the RCMP. The RCMP is responsible for both management of the plan and the preparation of its financial statements. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. You mean the white shirt mafia? The pension fund, created in April 2000 with, the money that we pay them, right? Along with the RCMP superannuation account, had a total balance of how much? Oh, $12.3 billion. 2 in a row. It's always good. We're going to have a good time tomorrow, aren't we? It costs the RCMP from $6 million to $14 million a year for pension administration. The RCMP also provides group life and disability insurance benefits to its regular and civilian members based on large extent to the members' contributions. Members' contributions, of course, which are really coming from where? Oh, that's right, you. Hey, Kendall. The various insurance plans have roughly $30 million on deposit and a little over $2 million a year for the RCMP to administer. Jesus, that's pretty pricey. Percentage-wise. Really expensive. Why it is important. RCMP members serve and provide their contributions with the expectation of receiving pension benefits upon retirement in accordance to the RCMP Superannuation Act. In addition, insurance contributions represent an investment by its members in their future financial security. RCMP plan administrators have an obligation to manage the plans with due diligence, in good faith, and in accordance with public service ethics and values. Oh no, there's that vomit, more vomit words. Ethics and values. You heard a lot of these, the garbage, the word salad language. I really don't like hearing it. So it's just mishmash of ass. Sound staffing and contract controls and corporate oversight of senior officials' actions are essential to ensure that these obligations are met. What we found. The RCMP responded adequately to its internal audit and the OPS investigation, but there are still matters that remain unsolved. What news? The OPS told us that its investigation was not directed or influenced in any way by the RCMP. Well, thanks, Ottawa Police Services. I'm glad. Sounds like the shit talking about the RCMP, Or Don Dunphy, the ACERT, looking at that one. Real independent. The Ottawa police investigators had direct access to their own senior management and to Crown Counsel throughout the investigation. Who does the Crown Counsel work for? Oh, that's right. The same people that employ the RCMP. Which was you. However, the terms of reference in the investigation stated that the lead OPS investigator on the case reported directly to an assistant commissioner of the RCMP. Sorry. I think it has to get a little bit bigger so that we can just understand that one there. However, the terms of reference for the investigation stated that the lead OPS investigator on the case reported directly to an assistant commissioner of the RCMP. This did not give the investigation the appearance of independence. Is that what we're worried about? The appearance? Or are we actually worried about real, true independence? Fucking this word garbage. When you see it, doesn't mean it means the exact opposite. Transparency, like a shower door. We found that the RCMP does not have an established policy for ensuring an external investigation of its actions at its request are performed and are seem to be performed in an independent and unbiased manner. Surprise. They don't have anything in place because they don't want it to be independent and unbiased. The RCMP reimbursed or credited about $3.4 million to the pension plan for the expenses charged to the plans improperly. What does that mean? Fraudulently? And has taken measures to prevent inappropriate charges in the future. Would you trust these people to take any kind of action? I wouldn't trust them to find their ass from a hole in the wall. It has also taken steps to strengthen controls over staffing, contracting, and review of business cases and information provided to the Treasury Board. Oh, I think it's just the shredder. They've got that one figured out a little bit better. You might pee your pants from either drinking too many coffees. Don't want to leave the table and miss something else, you might say. Please don't pee your pants. That would be bad. I don't want to see anybody pee their pants. Well, certain people. An estimated $1.3 million was charged to the pension and insurance plans to pay for commissions or products that provided little or no value, and for excessive payments to employees' friends or family members hired as temporary staff. Sound familiar? Sound anything like we're hearing, the public trough, trash? The pension plan has been reimbursed or credited $270,280 for those unnecessary or wasteful expenditures. Why do you pay back something if you didn't steal it? Or is it you just want to put that cookie back in the cookie jar? Sorry, we took that out there. We'll put it back. Just you didn't see it there. Shh. Even though an RCMP disciplinary investigation found that proceeding with disciplinary action was warranted against 4 of its regular and civilian members, the RCMP decided not to take action, as too much time had elapsed. I'm sorry. Who was in control of the investigation again? Ottawa Police Services, who were under the direct control of who? Oh, that's right. The commissioner of the RCMP. You drag it out, and then you say, oh, sorry, we missed out on our opportunity here. We can't do anything about it. Huh? I want that. I want a button so I can just flash the derp lady. Clark. Corporal Clark or whatever, Ass Clark, whatever her name is. I could just bring it up. Derp, derp. The RCMP has responded. Oh, now I'm feeling better. The RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, has agreed with each of our recommendations and in the process is taking corrective control. Do you think so? Introduction, the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, provides its members with pension plan and life and disability insurance plans. The plans are administered by National Compensation Policy Center, or fucking useless, wasting taxpayer, my money, your money, in its Human Resources branch. Pension activities. I'm just going to read through the whole thing because just so we never miss anything, I'm kind of like that. I used to take notes. When I take notes, I was explaining that to somebody. I don't take notes generally because I can't. Everything is important. So I want to record every word. It doesn't work quite as fast, my hand, as other people's mouths. The RCMP pension plan is governed by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Superannuation Act. We can't define what that means. And provides pension benefits to all its employees and classified as regular. They don't provide it. Who provides it? Indirectly, you provide that. As regular or civilian members of the RCMP. It does not apply to public servants working at the RCMP who are covered under the Public Service Annotation Act. and whose pensions are administered by the Treasury Board Secretariat and Public Works and Government Services Canada. The RCMP pension plan is a contributory defined benefit plan. So basically, they just, garnish. To which the RCMP members and the government contribute. No. That's us. Oh, and that's us. This is all us. And this is us that wrote the report. This is our paper. This is our website. Everything is us. All of it. We're all fighting with ourselves, screwing each other, defrauding each other, calling each other mental. Okay. And the government contribute, which the government of Canada is the sole sponsor. No, that's us, the people of Canada. This means that the benefits are paid to retired members by the government of Canada, us, as provided by statute. The RCMP is responsible, us, for administering the plan and preparing its financial statements. I don't like this language. All these other institutions. It's you, it's me. It's my grandkids if I have them somewhere. Yeah. Well, kids, I don't know. Never know. As of April 2000, omnibus legislation, amended the RCMP pension scheme, omnibus, right? Omnibus, I love omnibus bills, to add pension funds separate from the previous Superannuation Act. Since the amendment, contributions to the new pension fund have been transferred to an investment board and invested in financial markets, managing the investment separate from administering the pension plan. As March 31st March 2005, the Public Sector Pension Investment Board held net assets of $1.4 billion for the new pension fund. RCMP, pension activity for plan participants prior to April 2000 is recorded by the RCMP Superannuation Act with a balance of $10.9 billion as of 31st March 2005. The RCMP is responsible for the administration of the overall pension plan, which comprises of the pension funds and Superannuation Act account from 2001 to 2004. The yearly cost of administrating the pension plan ranged from 6.4 to 14 million. Administration includes maintaining a database of information for all contributions and retirees. The database is used to record the collection of premiums, contain information, and enables the software to access eligibility requirements for members, provide regular reports to contributors and retirees, calculate, initiate pension payments. Now, just to move, hey, Ms. Fox, to just move a little bit, are people not liking the video? The RCMP people don't worry about that. They'll be here. They are here. So, the idea that we have people who are bum rushed out, I think actually they lose their pensions. I will have to double check that one, but when they bum rush these people out, well, they lose their stuff. Lots of them. I can think of one person in particular that I'm aware of that is kind of financially in a tight spot, and they did nothing wrong except do their job. Do our job, right? We asked them to do that. We wanted to pay them. We left them in the lurch, pissing me off. The legislation created the new pension fund, also reestablished a statutory pension advisory committee. More establishment of crap. Make work projects with a strengthened mandate to advise and assist the minister responsible for the RCMP. Vomit. Will the girlfriend claim stakes the civilian hireman foreman plan? The minister appoints a maximum of 8 people to the committee, which includes representatives of the RCMP senior management. Surprise, surprise. Civilian members, a retiree, and a pension expert. So we have one person who really knows what the fuck they're talking about. The rest of these people, they don't belong on there. Get out. After the legislation was passed, the RCMP decided. The RCMP decided. Good for them. They decide things. Fuck you, man. You don't decide shit. You're my employee. That its pension administration needed to be modernized. The RCMP determined that many inaccuracies in the database members' pension plans needed to be corrected. The database itself needed to be improved and moved from paper to electronic media. It needed to decide whether it should contract out administration of the plan. The NCPC, whatever, trash, more letters, began a series of projects to address these requirements and modernize the administration of the pension plan. The NCPC also entered into discussions with the Treasury Board Secretariat and to determine what administrative costs should be borne by the pension plan, and costs should be paid for by us from its administrative budget, from what we pay them. Insurance activities. For the last 50 years, the RCMP has sponsored, we've sponsored, the members' health and disability insurance benefits, which are largely based on members' contributions. Administering and health disability plans includes enrolling participants in plans, recording collection of premiums, changing of the participants' beneficiaries and coverage. Oh, that one. Like cancel. Providing claims forms. Oh, that's probably denials. Ensuring that participants' premiums are sufficient to pay expected future claims. The various insurance plans have a balance of about $30 million and cost a little over $2 million for the RCMP to administer. Ooh, that's very pricey indeed, given how little. A private sector insurance underwriter invests the premiums, pays the claims, and is paid a flat rate, a claim per claim, and a percentage of the overall premium. Well, that's a sweet little deal they got going there. The RCMP Insurance Committee reviews the design and administration of the insurance plans to ensure the participating members of the RCMP receive a maximum level of benefits to which they're entitled. The committee is chaired by the RCMP's Deputy Commissioner for Federal Services and Central Region, and is made up of 6 members, including RCMP managers, current and retired members, and regular civilian members. Family members, nepotism, mafia, white shirt gang. Right? Is that what we're talking about there? I think so. In parallel with modernizing the administration of the pension plan, the RCMP also began to consider outsourcing the administration of the insurance plans, as pension and insurance matters also are involved many of the same RCMP managers. Many of the same ones. White shirt mafia? These projects develop links between them. See paragraphs, okay? RCMP managers misused pension and insurance matter. But the white shirt mafia? You mean the ones that I pay and you pay? Well, what the fuck are you doing, man? Are you thieves with badges? And you're going to come and save my life? Or are you going to sit down at the end of the road, fuck it, and drive on? Oh, that's right. How about the money that was missing that they supposed to have for the guns in Moncton? Because they were supposed to have those guns prior to Moncton. somehow disappeared. 9.11, working under the RCMP's Chief Human Resources Officer, the Director of the NCPC managed the projects to modernize the administration of the pension plans and outsource the administration of insurance plans. Outsource. Who do they outsource? On May 28, 2003, the commissioner of the RCMP first became aware of the potential irregularities in the administration of the pension plan. Did he do anything really? Did he care? The RCMP initiated a criminal investigation 23rd of June 2003. The commissioner then canceled it 2 days later to conduct an internal audit. Oh, sorry. I don't think I'm very good with sound effects. You know, the shredder? Like the disappearing hard drives, deleting of backups that was happening to Mike Rozelle type thing. Oh, missing, what was it? Missing intelligence report on a gunman who was threatening police. Oh, we just don't have that anymore. Sorry. To conduct an internal audit, to more clearly identify issues and help determine if external investigation was warranted. The internal audit was concluded October 2003. At the RCMP's request, the Ottawa Police Services, who do you think that maybe they handpicked this one? Hey, Clown Media. Maya's running up the sister server. Thanks very much, Maya. She's all over that like white on rice. The OPS, hopefully we've got Serene Christine, hopefully is joined. Because she'll to help you tear it down. She's good like that. The OPS concluded this investigation in 2005 based on its findings of the 15-month-long investigation. Wow. Crown Counsel. Oh, that's the same employer. That'd be me, you, as the RCMP, me, you. Advised that there was, quote, no reasonable prospect of criminal charges. Fancy that. We don't want to charge anybody in our mafia. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's just keep ripping them off. These poor members are getting stolen from by the very people who say that they're going to take care of them. My shitty employee. Fired. However, the investigation did identify several significant problems involving abuse of the pension insurance plans, nepotism, family, everybody's family, wasteful spending, and instances of management overriding controls. RCMP internal staff reviews, internal audits, and the OPS investigation. Oh, that would be like the handpicked review. What do you want to call it? Inquiry. Oops. You just handpick everybody. You just handpick them. Right? Because you handpick them, well, then you get what you want. All concluded the certain individuals misused. Even here, they can't hide it. The shredder wasn't fast enough. Individuals misused resources and circumnavigated management controls. What does that mean? To me, I think it sounds like they just ran around and stole money. That's what it means. We wasted a lot of words in this report so far to say that you stole money, you lied, and you tried to cover it up. And it went to the highest levels. The following are the most significant findings. You do trust the RCMP to tell lies. Thank you. I think that's good. The NCPC. Oh, but don't worry about it, Maya. Trust is very important to them. How do you feel about that? I like that. I should get that clip. How do you feel about the fact that the public's trust is shaken? And that they may no longer trust you? Trust is very important to us. That's apples, oranges. You didn't answer the question. You obfuscated, and then you moved on to the next question. Any idiot, even derp, could say that. course, trust is important to everybody. Me. NCPC director ignored normal staffing processes. Friends and relatives of the NCPC director and the incumbent employees were hired to work on correcting data in the pension plan database. Oh, I bet they were. That's a surprise. Better change that, Zero. Where's my eraser? Come on, man. Put a little bit more money in your pocket. Get it out of here. Most of the staff were hired as summer students, but without using the recommended federal student work experience program and at higher than normal rates of pay. Does that sound like some more stealing? Stealing to cover up the stealing by friends and family. Police, mafia. The NCPC director established consulting contracts valued at over $20 million, overriding controls to avoid competitions for the contracts. They didn't want anybody to come in. Why? These contracts resulted in some work of questionable value being performed, some work of questionable value, and excessive fees for administrative services of little or no value being charged to the poor employees. Our employees, but you know, the ones that don't wear the white shirts, the ones that get screwed, the ones that get rammed out of the Rcmp at about 30% rate for mental disability. Real nice. Well, just keep screwing people over, but don't worry about that golf trip there. Thanks. Over $3.1 million was inappropriately charged to the pension plan to pay for the Rcmp human resource projects that could have been paid for by us Rcmp appropriation fundings. This is the effect of relieving budget pressure of managers responsible for these projects. The Rcmp persuaded the insurer carrier to subcontract. Persuaded. A lot of persuasion in the Rcmp. They like to persuade. To subcontract work to a second firm to administer insurance plans on behalf of the Rcmp. As a result, there was no competition for the $4.6 million contract. Well, that's free money. Free money. No, there's nothing going on there either. There were irregularities. Do you like this word? I like theft. I like fraud. And I like criminal charges. And I like people going to jail. Really do. Shitbags. I wonder if they can talk about their fucking golf game in there with Bubba. Perhaps Bubba might like to have a little visit with them. Just maybe. It might not end up so well. In the process of contracting out administration of pension plans, a contracting decision was not based on an adequate business case. The former director of the NCPC told us that, to his knowledge, Rcmp staffing and contract policies and practices were followed. Derp. I stole the cookies, but don't worry, I'm telling you I didn't steal the cookies. It's okay. Believe me. Because trust is very important to me. Focus of the audit, we examined whether the agreement between the Rcmp and the OPS was structured to avoid undue Rcmp direction of bias. No, that would never happen. whether the RCMP has responded adequately to all significant deficiencies. There's another garbage word. That the OPS found during its investigation, and whether the breakdowns in controls resulted in significant costs, poor value for money, or misuse of funds. It's a lot of words, Alan, for just theft. We also examined large theft. You know, like, what is it? Theft over. This is a lot of theft over. We also examined allegations that were brought to our attention during the audit. All matters for which sufficient evidence exists to support conclusions are included in this chapter. We did not examine the performance of the Ottawa police services or organizations outside the Government of Canada. So the investigating wasn't investigated. That's like the shit. No, don't worry about it. We're good. We're good. We're good here. Trust is very important to us. But we actually run it because the commissioner is in charge. And we've already stated that. So is it the OPS or is it the RCMP? That would be the RCMP. More details on the audit objectives, scope, and approach and criteria are in the About Audit. Observations and recommendations. Actions taken by the RCMP. Sorry. Sorry. The RCMP has acted to respond to internal audits and the Ottawa Police Service investigation. The Chief Human Resources Officer resigned as a result of the RCMP internal audit. I call that cowardice. Run away. Still should get charged. I don't give a fuck if you're out or not. Yeah, get charged. Now you're a civilian, and anybody who is in your corner, I believe also should be removed, probably put on temporary desk duty or whatever the fuck they do. How about stick them on medical leave? Mental illness. Just so they don't interfere with the investigation. Family members, friends, summer students, you know, whatever you want to call it. To respond to internal audits and the Ottawa Police Service investigation, the Chief Human Resources resigned. The RCMP suspended National Compensation Policy Center Director. Oh, good of you. Who subsequently resigned. In addition, the RCMP, you see, they tried to get this quashed. I've been through all this last night and the night before. How much they tried to get rid of this. The threats that were issued. The fucking games. Oh, we'll give them awards because somebody told us we had to give them awards, but then we'll call them mental. Reviewed expenditures and administration of the pension fund's insurance plan. Reimbursed or credited the pension plan for, that's the cookie going back into the cookie jar. Right there. Right? Oh, we stole that. Sorry. But we don't want to get caught. That shredder didn't get fast enough. Because you know how much fucking money got stolen here, right? They put a little bit back. Because usually when you take the cookie, you kind of eat the cookie. They put the crumbs back. Strengthen controls for contracting. Oh, yeah. The private contract. Change the pension accounting unit to report to corporate management and controllership of the human resource instead of human resources. But you just moved it from one department to another in the RCMP. That's fucking fantastic. Established a pension finance oversight committee to advise the Chief Human Resources Officer and Deputy Commissioner of Corporate Management. Who the fuck are these people? And controllership of the administration of pension plan and administered expenses administrative expenses charged to the pension plan. Oh, so we also just invented a whole bunch of new jobs for our friends. You see what happened there? And our family members? We just invented more. I wasn't consulted on this one. Were you? I didn't say that was okay. I want my underwear back. I want it back. I want my house back. I want my cars back. You owe me a lot of money. Started to a review of insurance administration. Oh, thanks. You started something which will never get finished. And announced that it will conduct an evaluation of pension outsourcing. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that too. You said that we're going to do something, but you know what? Don't worry about it. But sure. At the end of the investigation, the OPS reported several breakdowns of management controls. Management controls. The gang wasn't working so well. I don't know. What? It's just garbage language. We examined the corrective actions taken by the Rcmp to address the OPS report. So they looked at the lack of action. Inappropriate use of pension plan. The Rcmp made it a priority to identify expenses that had been incorrectly charged to the pension plan. To address improper charges made to fiscal years 2001 to 2001 to 2003-04, the Rcmp reimbursed crumbs or credited the pension plan about $1.9 million in 2003 and 4 and about 1.5 in 2004-5. So they put a little bit of crumbs back in. These members, I'm sorry, I hope I'm reaching some Rcmp members. They're fucking ripping you off, man. One day when you go and try and get your pension and there's nothing there, don't ask why. You were told, right? By Canadians who actually do care about you. The Rcmp's finance branch reviewed the NCPC's identification of improper charges. Like, is that, oh, sorry, criminal charges? Oh, no, just improper charges. Criminal charges. I like criminal charges. Reminds me of the song, something about a shower. Made to the pension plan related to the outsourcing of insurance administration work. Outsourcing. And found the methodology consistent and reasonable. However, the finance branch concluded that because the police investigation and internal audit had found significant internal control weaknesses. Where is the vomit face when you need that too? You know the one that has vomit, the emoji? Internal control weaknesses. Somebody's weak. Weak in the brain. At the NCPC, it was impossible to accurately determine how much to reimburse or credit the pension plans. Cookie crumbs. Oh, the shredder, it was working well. We'll just put a little bit back and make you feel like we put all of the cookies back. It's okay. Members, I'm talking to you. I'm talking directly to you. And thank you very much, Tara. The victim, one of the victims' families here, down in Nova Scotia, saw this. She's traumatized, and she's still looking. Better keep looking. It's impossible. We agree with the finance branch's conclusions that the RCMP used a reasonable method to identify, estimate, and reverse inappropriate charges to the pension plan. Preventing inappropriate charges to the pension plan in the future. The following improvements made by the RCMP will prevent inappropriate charges to the pension plan in the future. The RCMP established a pension finance oversight committee to advise the Chief Human Resources Officer and Deputy Commissioner of Corporate Management and Controllership on the administration of the pension plan and charges made to the pension plan. The committee's role is to provide a challenge function, review and question pension administration proposals and decisions, and to not actually administer the plan. The committee is currently active operation. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? I'll put a lot of money on that. That I'm not betting that. There's some friends and family there. How about all of them? Make work projects. Now they just get more jobs, more family, more fraud, more theft. The Pension Finance Oversight Committee established guiding principles for changing costs to pension plan. According to these principles, the NCPC pension accounting unit now monitors and approves all invoices paid through the NCPC to ensure that only pension-related items are charged to the pension plan. Oh, so now we'll do like the golf re-expenditures. You remember when I was talking about that? How they did that at St. Andrews? Just put it under the room rate. We're the RCMP. We don't want to see any kind of charges of golf on there because that might actually raise some eyebrows. So just call it room, please. So now we're doing the same thing. Here we go again. Just call it something else. Call it all pension related. These people investigating themselves again. The shit. We're investigating ourselves. This is fucking crazy, man. This is fucking crazy, people. Circumvention of staffing controls. Oh, that's going around. Good people. In May 2002, an RCMP staffing officer expressed concerns about nepotism in hiring casual employees for the NCPC. Yay! Hero. That's a hero. That's a good one. That's one I'd like to pay pensions to. That's one I'd like to reward. That's one who probably really wants to be on their job. But they want to do the right thing. I like these people who want to protect my community. They would have done a lot better now in Nova Scotia. Right? Not the fuck it and drive on. Don't worry about it. We'll use the Tweety twatters to hide everything. Bullshit. Human resources staff claimed that because of work pressures, you know what? They allowed the NCPC director to hire casual employees on his own, rather than following regular staffing processes. Oh, well, work pressures, if you're that work pressured, and they're not friends and family, they're actually, I think if it's friends and family and you're having that much work pressure, I think you better go on a mental illness break. That's mental illness. This whole thing is mental illness. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Moneypenny. I'm not about necessarily entertaining. If it is pressure that is undue and illegal, then we need to charge people. That's called coercion, strong arming. The OPS interviewed 65 of these casual employees and found that 49 had friends or family that worked in the RCMP. Say what? In 2003, the Chief Human Resources Officer informed Internal Audit that Human Resources would review all proposed new positions and would coordinate and approve all staffing actions. So they're just handling everything still. As part of our audit, we reviewed selected staffing and classification files. We found that the staffing files were complete and adequately supported staffing decisions, but that one classification decision was based on questionable information. 2004, the RCMP took action. Do you know the RCMP to take action? They don't take action. To better control the NCPC staffing by requiring that the center staffing plan be incorporated into information provided to the Treasury Board Secretariat and reviewed by the Pension Finance Oversight Committee. Who is this? This is all them. It's all you at the end of the day. Fuck, I'm tired of me stealing from me and then having to pay for it all over the place. More government spending. Yay. More jobs for my friends. Look, I got a bigger house. Government contracting policies were not followed. As part of the OPS investigation, the RCMP commissioned a forensic report that found 135 contracts worth over $20 million. The report concluded that the contracting processes used by the NCPC would not pass the test of public scrutiny. What the fuck? It found that a majority of these contracts, the NCPC director, well, but don't worry, he got his pension. He just quit. Did not apply a fair or competitive contract processing. This is like Teamsters, unions, mob. Seriously, it's mob shit. Mob shit. He established contracts without competition. Oh, who's getting those? Friends and family. And circumnavigated controls designed to ensure fairness, equity, and lowest price. Oh, good. So good value for my money. I like overpaying. The RCMP taken measures to strengthen contracting controls. The RCMP Corporate Procurement Directorate now ensures that managers are reminded of RCMP contracting policies and that managers who do not comply with these policies are sanctioned. Oh, you know what that is too, right? Tisk, if we find it. Don't do it again. Come on, man. Just don't do it again, but we'll do it again. There is a quality assurance program for contracting. Procurement personnel receive mandatory values and ethics training. What the fuck are you hiring people that don't have values and ethics? And clearly it's a family. It's family affair. Your family blows. Somebody in there wasn't a dad and spanked their kids and taught them how to be proper human beings. Taught them evil is okay. And this is what we teach our kids, because look up to our police. Our police. It is our opinion that these measures are adequate response to control problems. However, the problems that we found are not due to an absence of controls, but were due to management overriding controls. You know what that is too, right? Word salad, but that means that they are putting pressure. Coercion. That's a criminal offense. Oh, the amount of charges that could get laid out of this shit. Unbelievable. Areas for improvement. The RCMP lacks a policy for external investigations. What news? Always. Always they lack a policy for internal investigation. There's no external investigation. It's just crime on top of crime on top of crime. And we'll keep doing it to you. We expected that an investigation of the investigation of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police by an external police force would avoid undue RCMP direction or bias, or the appearance of such. The RCMP and Ottawa Police Services formalized the structure of the investigation. Who the fuck are they to even be involved? You don't get to go and choose it. Because you're going to get your friends to investigate you so that you get off. This is a joke. This is the shit. The cert. Structure of the investigation in a memorandum of understanding. You know what you need to do. But it was not signed until 2 months or 10 months after the investigation began. In our view, however, this is an improvement over previous investigations of the RCMP by external forces that we reviewed and did not have the memorandum of agreement. But who was the OPS responsible to? Who were they answering to? They already told you. The commissioner of the RCMP. The commissioner who doesn't want this stuff to come out. This is the same shit, white shirt mafia. Thugs. Criminals. Even though the RCMP communications to the public referred to the investigation as OPS investigation, there was significant RCMP involvement. You don't say. The OPS relied on the RCMP to provide resources to conduct the investigation. How's the Chinese food here at this restaurant? What restaurant's going to say it's shit? Don't eat here. It's terrible. As stated in the Memorandum of Understanding, the OPS lead investigator reported to RCMP Assistant Commissioner. And the lead investigator's staff included several RCMP investigators. This is not impartial. This is not unbiased. A member of the RCMP described it as an RCMP investigation conducted with OPS assistance. My fucking God. Another perspective was the role of the RCMP was to facilitate access and provide information about the organization's subject matter. OPS officials told us that their investigation was not directed or influenced by the RCMP and that they routinely sought input on the case from OPS senior officers and their own legal counsel. However, the fact is the fact that the lead OPS investigator reported to the assistant commissioner of the RCMP responsible for departmental security, a potential issue area of the investigation, compromised the appearance of the OPS operating without direction and bias. Really? What the? We found that the RCMP does not have an established policy to ensure external investigations requested by the RCMP of its activities. They're not going to request investigations of themselves. And that the appearance of is independent and unbiased. As a result, it is difficult for the RCMP to respond to complaints that an investigation is not independent or unbiased. Aww, poor RCMP, poor mafia, poor white shirts, poor mental illness cases, criminals, poor. Recommendation: the RCMP should institute a policy to ensure that when it requests an external investigation based on allegations against one or more of its members or employees, the investigation is not only independent or unbiased, but appears to be independent and unbiased. Okay, so there's lots of things that, you have to hear the other side, the stuff that was said in front of Parliament and the stuff that I was going through in the last couple of videos, right? Where they tried to shut it down before it even started. The RCMP wasn't like the hero in this. There was a couple of members who really fucking fought hard to say, listen, there's a problem here, let's clean it up. The mafia wanted it shut down. Shut it down, shut it down. They wanted it to shut it down because they don't want to send their own members into trouble zones. Not that they will get sent to jail or anything, because that would never happen. There's not enough evidence here. No, sorry. A recommendation, the RCMP response. We agree. The RCMP will develop and institute a policy to ensure external investigation to RCMP members and employees that are requested by the RCMP are independent of RCMP influence. Well, I see one word in here that stands out. Will. That's future tense. Frankly, I can't trust you as far as I can throw you. You say you're going to do something, you're never going to fucking do it. You never do. Never do. The pension and insurance plans were used to pay for some work of little or no value. Just on the books, get free money. The OPS report identifies several breakdowns in control. Breakdowns. Like a car. Just broke it down. It's terrible. It's too bad. That led to unnecessary wasteful expenditures. We estimate the RCMP charged $1.3 million to the pension and insurance plans for work of little value, of which $270,000 was reimbursed. Oh, so they didn't even, and the 1.3 is just the shredder was going. That's all that they wanted to find. And yet they didn't even pay back what they stole. I wonder what kind of house Lucky had. Want it back. I want it back. Commissions paid to Consulting and Audit Canada. Oh, NCPC circumnavigated competitions by using Consulting and Audit Canada to hire individuals and firms he had already chosen to do work at the NCPC. Oh, so more friends. For each of the contracts, the CAC charged a fee for a number of services, including locating qualified vendor. As was it normal practice, it applied 15% administrative value. So, I mean, I'll leave, because this is quite long and I really don't want to bore. Well, we were actually at some of the important part here, which is why I did this video. The RCMP paid for some of the same work twice. The director of the National Compensation Policy Center, who resigned, instructed the insurance carrier Great West Life to begin preparing for outsourcing of administration, the RCMP employing insurance plans. This preparatory work was performed by Great West Life. Vomit. These are all these groups. Like the insurance companies are a business without a contract, contrary to contracting regulations. After working on the project for several months, the RCMP requirements changed, and Great West Life determined that it could not provide all of the required services within a specified delivery date. It was persuaded to act as a go-between for payments to another firm. Oh, what's that? MORNEAU. An hour and 15 minutes to get some, which took on the job of administrating the insurance plans for the RCMP. The RCMP then paid MORNEAU, Sebeco's firm's own requirements definition of the contract. Oh, so he just invented it. No competition, and he invented what he wanted of the contract. He just wrote the terms, and there's no competition. Okay, no problem. No friends here. Indicating that the contractor started again from the very beginning. RCMP officials could not identify any tangible service performed by Great West Life. Great West Life believes that it helped to define requirements for future outsourcing. The OPS investigation concluded that the RCMP insurance plans paid over $250,000 in unnecessary payments to Great West Life. Ooh, more crime. Hiring a consultant circumnavigated staffing regulations. The NCPC director contracted with a consultant to do the center staffing for about 8 months. The total cost of the contracts, the consultant was over $443,000 during this time, an amount of $201,000, which was charged to the pension plan, of which $50,000 was subsequently reimbursed or credited. So there we go, another $150,000 that they could account for that was stolen. Since the RCMP maintains its own civilian personnel services, it is not clear what value was obtained by hiring an independent consultant. The RCMP contests this conclusion, of course. No, nothing to see here, and believes that a staffing assistance was necessary to meet its timing and service requirements for the important project. Requirements that the RCMP staffing function could not meet. It is our opinion need was not well supported by the facts, and that in this particular action, without compensating controls, allowed the NCPC to circumnavigate staffing controls. So there is more. You got 52 casual employees, 32 of them which have no experience. Of course, they're going to be related. Now, if we just look up MORNEAU, we're going to have a few more appearances. Written in a way, RCMP business case for outsourcing administration and pension plan, a central element of the RCMP's strategy to modernize, read, pension plan administration, more ways to rob is what that should read, was to determine whether it could have been done more economically by the private sector. The RCMP therefore carried out a study to determine whether it was so. We'd have to have another study because that's more jobs. We reviewed the business case that it was used to justify outsourcing administration of the pension plan to MORNEAU Sebeco. Year 2000, the Treasury Board approved the RCMP's submission to outsource the administration of the pension plan. However, we found that the Treasury Board Secretariat was not presented with the balanced business case and outsourcing administration of the pension plan. The business case was written in a way to support full outsourcing, provided little analysis or other options for the administration to the pension plan. So we just wrote it so that we gave it. Based on the estimates and costs provided by MORNEAU Sabeco, the eventual winner was of the outsourcing of the contract, disputed by Public Works and Government Services Canada. However, there is no evidence that this was ever acknowledged in the decision-making process. Rcmp provided MORNEAU Sabeco with the assumptions used in developing the cost estimates for the administration of the Rcmp plan, which led to gross underestimation of these costs. These estimates were used as a basis of the contract awarded to MORNEAU. So they, you know, even though they didn't have any challengers, undercut nothing. The Rcmp accepted these estimates without conducting additional reviews. In the original information provided by the Treasury Board Secretariat, expected costs for outsourcing the pension plan administration, including the costs of MORNEAU Sabeco, were estimated at $2.8 million of each the 2002 and 2004. Subsequently, in 2002, the Rcmp increased the estimate to $5.9 million. Again, in 2003, informed the Treasury Board Secretariat of a further increase to $8.1 million. Almost 3 times the original amount. Rcmp stated these increases were due to changed assumptions and better estimates once the contract was signed. So here's the link to this document, which is archived. You know, this is clearly fraud. And then you can see, sorry, based on the expansion of MORNEAU Sabeco, how they're getting a little bit more money. MORNEAU Sabeco expands quite significantly over the years. Where is that here? Where did I put that here? Where did I put that? I'm not sure. So there's the archived copy. Okay, now I wanted to move on to something else. Thank you for sitting around. But I think we're seeing more of this playing out. I must have shut down a window. Is that the problem? Because there's some articles I'm missing here. Yeah, well, basically, you can go and look how Sabeco suddenly just expands. You know, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger because it wasn't actually that big of a firm to begin with. It was kind of normal, and then all of a sudden it's just expanding. Now, I'm not, again, please understand that I'm not saying liberals are the cause. They're all the cause. It doesn't matter what party. I know everybody wants to go, liberals bad. Liberals bad, conservatives bad. You can find it all over the place. Baird, very good example. Anybody ever wants to dig into Baird, you'll find all kinds of interesting things. Rcmp connections. Oh, he just went away. Now, of course, Trudeau is like, oh, you know, no, shut it down, shut down, no speculation, under control. He's not going to be fired. A week later, yeah, he's getting fired. It just keeps going on. The we scandal, and of course, you have to factor in a lot of these other things, right? The SNC-Lavalin, right? You had multiple trips down to Baird, BC. Yeah, the Baird story is one I'm going to do one day. The SNC-Lavalin, okay, right? That was going on underneath the Conservative government. Everybody's in on this. CEO There was a kick warrant that was registered against board meeting, SNC Lavalin. What happened with that? Right? And that's earlier in the story. The Afghanistan contracts, the CETA contracts. And the corruption that goes on in this country is grossly overlooked because people have this blind faith that their government will take care of them and will do the right thing. You have evil scumbags that run everything. And Rcmp, all they do is amalgamate data on all of us. That's why I'm so hyped up about the project Wide Awake 2.0. I know everybody's got the gun thing. The gun thing was around for a long time. Let's not fool ourselves. We all know that. They've been drafting that garbage up for years. Look at what they're doing in terms of amassing data on you as an individual. Every single fucking thing that you do, the Rcmp track. You want to go in the dark web, the deep web? Doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter. And do you think that then the, quote, undue pressure doesn't come into play here? Look at Baird. Okay? Not tinfoil, absolutely 100% true. Now, the other part to this was totally unrelated. When I was digging around this morning, just doing having a little fun, of course, my fun, lots of moolah. What do we find here? Brenda Forbes has a LinkedIn page. Okay. I've got screenshots of it, but I encourage you all to go and, make lots of copies of this and send it around. I'm going to look at some details here, which are kind of enlightening. Safety security consultant at independent sector. Brenda Forbes, you all know Brenda Forbes? Female narrative, the one who never saw anything, the one who's friends with Linda McDonald and Jean Sarson, who's married to Rcmp. This shit gets really deep. Let's go. Where does she live? How afraid is she? Bass River. Bass River. Did she move real far away? Where's Bass River? Is anybody in here from we got my East Coast friends down in here, obviously. Truro. Where's Bass River? Help us out. How far is Bass River from Portapique, please? Oh, come on, Steve. I don't like typing. Less than 10 kilometers. Less than 10 kilometers. Okay? Real fucking far. 10 minutes. Wow. She moved real far away because she was so terrified. Let's look at some of the things that she likes to look at. Well, we've got in here. Safety security consultant for the independent sector for 20 years. 20 years, right? Where'd she graduate high school from? Germany. Thank you to the person that helped me out with this. I didn't know as soon as I said the name Lar, they were like, oh, I know where that is. So let's see, 2000 to 2002, she gets a certificate from the U of A, security management. But before she's doing that, she's working as a security consultant. Do you see any Department of National Defense on here? I've heard a lot about the fact that she doesn't actually work for the Department of National Defense. Now, another interesting thing of here in note, so I encourage people, keep digging. 1993, right? Remember we see that old lady on the TV who apparently lives down west somewhere? 1993, how old does that make her? 44. About. Oh, Seamus, you're just seeing things. You're just seeing things, right? It's a different Brenda Bow Forbes. By the way, these medals, I've asked, hopefully those of you who are very good with medals, I've asked a couple of people to investigate what these medals are for. Oh, Seamus, you're just seeing things, says you. Proper English, right? Am I? Am I? Let's see. Who's this? George Forbes. Where does he live? Oh, that's right. He lives in Bass River. Also, Department of National Defense. Let's see. Let's just see if there is a, because maybe it's just a magical coincidence, right? A Brenda and a George Forbes. Working military in Bass River. Let's see. We'll do a little search here. We'll open up a fresh window for you. New window. Let's see here. Brenda. George Forbes. Let's see what we got. Oh. There she is, right? No thanks. Fuck off. I don't want to see your ad. We'll get there. Okay? Remember, we've been through these articles. She basically says she hasn't seen anything. Does that look like a 44-year-old woman to you? Oh, but you haven't proven it's the same people. Okay. Let's find George. First time Forbes and her husband George met the gunman. So what do you think the coincidence is of Brenda and George Forbes working in the military, at least one of them? The other one is a bit sneaky, dodgy, in Nova Scotia. You think they're the same people? Because I do. Let's see. There isn't a second Brenda Forbes with medals in a small area with a husband who has the same name. Haha. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? You never know. Now, what else does she like to do in her spare time? Well, she likes this person, Andre Levesque, who I'm not real familiar with, Dr. Andre Levesque. He got an awful lot of fucking medals. He's got a lot of awards, too. A lot of letters behind his name. Not sure who this character is. Might want to look at him. I'll leave you the link for that. I did kind of just scrape through a little bit. He's into, I don't know, Deputy Chancellor, St. John's Ambulance, Chair of Ontario, chairs of lots of things, chairs of the International Society of Commemoration Memorials and Other Monuments, Chief Historian, Special Advisor. Let's see what else he's got here. Official Historian, Member, I don't even know, Research Fellow, Advisor to the President, I don't know, Advisor, military stuff, but, and lots and lots and lots of medals, but no experience. Oh, wait a second here. Past commander of the Ottawa Commandery. Oh, that's more charity. Charity, lots of charity stuff. Lots of awards. Somebody very big with a lot of awards. Organizations, Royal Canadian Air Force. Now, Lahr is an Air Force base in Germany. But she didn't work in the Air Force, apparently. She was a safety security consultant. What does this mean? Philanthropist. Oh, yes. That word. Whew. Vomit. Let's see what activity she's got here. Oh, Brenda Forbes likes Justin Trudeau. She likes this man. National Trust. National Trust is a bit of a... Oh, UN migration? More Air Force stuff? More stuff to do with the military? More from her friend? CFN Consultants? That's a Russian uniform, isn't it? Russian uniforms, isn't it? Are they? No. Maybe? I'm not sure. Ex-military careers. Oh. This summer has been a whirlwind. I lost my job. Now that I'm starting to move past being stunned, actually incredible relief. I sold 2 of my books. McClellan Stewart to publish Critical History of the Rcmp. For the good of the force. Investigation into a history of racism, misogyny. Misogyny. What is a misogynist? It is the choice to be a hater of women, written by, oh, who is that? I can't read. My eyes, when I get old. Oh, Jean Sarson and Linda McDonald. Let's see here. Jean Sarson. Jerry. Let's try Jerry Sarson. Jerry Sarson. Instead, he joined the Rcmp and trained in Ottawa. He was sent to New Brunswick and met his bride, Jean, a registered nurse. After that, he volunteered for Northern Service, traveled to work in Tuktoyaktuk and Tuktoyaktuk, whatever, at the mouth of the Mackenzie River. I think that's misspelled. In fact, I know it is. Jean got posted after near Gerald. They settled in Inuvik. Okay, let's see here. Her name, by the way, Eddie. Let's see here. Sarson later moved to the Northwest Territories, where she got married, living across the Arctics and moving to Nova Scotia. Jean Sarson and Linda McDonald co-founded the non-state. Anything that's not the state. Do you see a picture? Because I certainly see a picture. I've been trying to help out and draw it, but you got to destroy this one because it's bullshit. But do you know who it helps? Oh, that's right. Let's see. It helps the state. Linda McDonald is friends with Brenda Forbes. All you have to do is just show the relationships. Ask, what's in it for them? But I think one of the best points to me It says she witnessed. Oh, I like that. She witnessed. What did she really witness? She's a security consultant, but what was it? What was it that Linda McDonald said? Let's actually find that. Where was that? Right. Do I have to non-share? I have to remove this, I think. And then delete this. Stop screen. Okay, now I got to add again so you can get the audio. Okay. Oops.
Concerns are being raised. The federal and provincial government joint independent reviews will not be enough. And today, one group is demanding that any review must incorporate what they say is a very relevant perspective. Alicia Drose has our top story.
Of the 22 victims in the April 18th and 19th shooting spree, the majority were female, 13 to 9 males.
Sorry, just the math on that one. The math. What is the demographic? 51% female, 49% male. Right? Oh, this is 59%. Oh, it's very disproportionate. Right. Listen very carefully.
That's why the group Nova Scotian Feminists Fighting Femicide was created in the aftermath of the mass murder. The group, spearheaded by Linda McDonald and Jean Sarson, is calling for a public inquiry, examining the incident through a feminist lens, one they say is important given the patterns of other violent incidents.
We've just been speaking ever since, trying to bring in the aspect of the femicide and the misogyny and the connection between male violence against women and mass shootings.
Both women say they're angered by the federal and provincial government's decision to instead launch a review.
This is like father knows best, you know, it doesn't matter what anyone.
Sorry, you understand that they're spinning that, right? It's all theater. Oh, the bad government, but we really actually are helping the government. Those bad men. We'll just we'll pipe it up a little worse. But listen towards the end of this interview.
Has said part of the review's terms of reference include a mandate to look at contributing and contextual factors, including the involvement of gender-based and intimate partner violence, as well as police policies, procedures, and training for gender-based and intimate partner violence. But Sarson and McDonald say that doesn't go far enough in terms of considering the feminist lens.
We're asking that from a feminist analysis, that you look at the position of women in general and the violence that women endure.
As an example, they say warning signs may have been missed due to a patriarchal and misogynist system. In 2013, neighbor Brenda Forbes brought the issue of domestic violence to the attention of Rcmp. Her complaint never went anywhere. It played out the same way in another concern she raised.
Brenda went to her boss in the military and told her boss that she was being stopped, and he said, get used to it.
Sorry? But she's a security consultant in the military. Oh, this is deep. Deep, 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 deep. Because she lives in Edmonton or wherever, down west. LinkedIn's out of Bass River. Oh, getting fucking schooled. Everybody's getting duped on this one. And ask questions like how many women are in the military, or sorry, how many women are in the RCMP? Upper management of the RCMP, how many are women? Let's see how patriarchal it is. And with women in charge, why the fuck are they not paying attention to all of the spousal abuse that occurs within the RCMP? Men beating up women. Oh, that's right. It's non-state. Their organization. Can't look at that. But can you? Let's try a search here. I'll get out here. Linda McDonald and Jean Sarson speak about the RCMP's shortcomings in respect to the Picton case. Oh, how interesting. Jean Sarson, actually. Jean Sarson specifically, whose husband is RCMP. Where is it here? They wrote, Truro nurses. Somebody raised an interesting question, too, about the nursing today with me. Are they still working as nurses? East Haunts? I'm not sure. Additionally, I'll have to dig those up because I think I put it away. It's on my phone. But they actually speak specifically to the RCMP's failings. So if they failed with the Picton case, I'm trying to draw the logic here for you. They clearly don't mind going after the RCMP sometimes. Right? Picton was clearly a big problem. Picton seems to be coming up a lot in respect to Nova Scotia. Darren Campbell, Janice Gray. There's a third one. I'm sorry. Instant promotions ×2. Both of them in 2 years for throwing Galliford, Campbell's ex-wife, under the bus because she was going to testify against the RCMP about Picton on behalf of the women. How about Jean Sarson, Linda McDonald? Do they support that? Brenda Bow Forbes is BBF. Anyways, I don't want to keep you, and Maya's going to go to bed. So thanks very much. I just want to hopefully the narrative has to be attacked. I think there are really easy ones to attack them on. Really easy ones. Who are you? Where are you getting your money? Where do you get your money from? They're no longer nurses? Okay. Well, they're getting paid by somebody. The private funding. Who's the private funding coming from? Did they end up in the G7 meeting? Wasn't it? Aw. I like how their glasses are kind of the same. They actually kind of look a little bit the same. Betty. Aw, Betty. What is her real last name? Yeah, I better not dox her. That wouldn't be very good. I'm not trying to dox anybody. I'm just trying to say, please, if you're really interested in women's issues, I think, funnily enough, there's a lot. There is the case of the RCMP lying up in Truro, where you live. What was her name again? Begins with B. RCMP lied. Truro. A woman menace to society. Could somebody give me the name again? And women, please take note of it. Junior Dugan. There we go. I remember that's the neighbor. Junior Dugan. Susie BUTLIN repeatedly pleaded with the RCMP. Well, how about this? How about that? Where's Linda McDonald? Hell, they're from Truro. Where's Linda McDonald? Where's Betty? Did they come and help? When was this? Oh, that's right. June. A friend said the RCMP officer told BUTLIN her allegations against Dugan, it made her, not him, a menace to society. And this was proven in court. And they were proven to be liars. Susan BUTLIN. Ah. In court. But you know, they don't do that. They don't lie. Right? They're not supposed to lie in court. Or can they? The chess pieces. They don't play chess very well. I'm not a particularly great chess player myself, literally, but it's a fun game. This kind of chess, though, I can play. Moves are transparent. More moves are coming. they'll get exciting. I told you about the lawsuit that was coming in a roundabout way. I said, watch. It's going to turn family. Because now, if you have questions, what has happened? We have LB. Yes. There's my man. I love you, brother. I really do. Oh, there's so many. This is from an organization that's run by women. State organization. How did this happen? What's going on here? Spousal abuse. Ignored women's complaints. Picton. There's so many different ways to attack this one. Easily can be done. There we go. Yeah. Another great one, another great resource I found on this one is use the shit database. Their reports. Probably better grab them before they disappear. Shit. Recent publications. Oh, you know, the one that doesn't have the report that they're supposed to have, that's overdue, because they legally have to have that after 3 months of the Onslow one. You know, the ones that they're back at work. And they were back at work almost right away. You can just comb through here. Bing, I'll give you the link to that. There are lots of rape cases in here. Abuse to women. You've got the case of the UBC student, wellness checks. You've got the wellness checks. Shootings. You had the UBC student. And this isn't to attack good members. There are bad members. Just like there are bad everything. There are bad YouTubers. Perhaps I'm a bad YouTuber. I don't know. In which case you can give me a downvote. The Rcmp give me downvotes. Oh no. Oh, sorry. Whatever, it's 2 seconds of music. Just don't watch it. Oh, that looks like treating women well. Where's Linda McDonald? Where's Jean Sarson? Yes, it's a woman doing it to another woman. Frankly, I think that's just as appalling. Does it have to always be a man beating up a woman? I don't think a woman should be touched. A hand shouldn't be laid on her by anybody. I don't think people should be beating up anybody anymore. You'd think women were a little bit more sensitive. Hell, there are organizations run by a woman. What is wrong with you, dude? It just stands there. I think I'd probably say, excuse me, or seem to be assaulting that woman. Are you going to go to jail? Yeah, what were the after effects? I remember the photos. Not very nice. She seems very proud. She's a toughie. That one. Frankly, I think she's kind of a bully. Not real nice. Oh, now we're going to put the, are we going to do the boot? There we go. Oh, a little bit. Let's see. Don't worry. If it brings shame to the RCMP, she'll get medical discharge. And then somebody can rob her pension so that they can go on golf trips. Good members, I'm sure, equally don't agree with this type of behavior. Oh, somebody will be getting a promotion. Somebody, in this case. The Nova Scotia stuff. White shirt in the mail. I'll just leave that with you. You can. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Let's pull her hair. Because it very much, she's a threat here. You know that, right? You can see how threatening she is. Look at me. They don't like when these tapes leak out, you know? Oh, is she gonna? No, don't worry about. I thought actually she might have covered her up just so he wasn't embarrassed in public like that.
Spend less on mobile, spend more on treating your friends. I got it.
Clamp it. Thank you. Where were we? There we go. Thanks very much. My man, my brother. Another good one. You guys can throw that in there. perhaps the RCMP. Judge says that there needs to be an investigation into conduct of 2 Lowerville, Sackville RCMP officer. A judge says, who responded to a 911 call last spring involving a teenage girl who was out of control after ingesting drugs. The 17-year-old who received bruises and abrasions over her entire body and was tased during the incidents and also suffered a concussion. She ended up being charged with assaulting both officers and breaching recognizance. Her identity is protected. And she was found, what? Not guilty. I'm not satisfied that the girl's actions were done deliberately. Where's Linda McDonald? Where's Jean Sarson? Judge bases verdict on the girl's mom and the 2 Mounties constables, Bart and Colin LePan and Colin Shaw. I've been doing this job for 37 years. I practiced criminal law for a number of years before that. Curran, I believe actually I've come across this name before. The mother's testimony was without question the most compelling testimony I've ever heard. The mother testified that both officers brutalized her daughter, who was under the influence of LSD or ecstasy in her own bedroom for more than 15 minutes. The woman said in court she was in the doorway of a room for most of the encounter and only left it for about 2 minutes to compose herself because she feared that she was about to attack Shaw. She was about to attack Shaw to try to get him to stop. She said she is sickened. The mom was going to attack the cops. Please stop beating up my daughter. She said she is sickened that the officers had to lay charges against her daughter to justify how she looked when they were done with her that night, and prays they will be held accountable. She said the RCMP should require LePan to receive counseling, and Shaw needs to lose his badge. Shaw should not be in a position of authority. What I see him to do to my child, he'll do again. Justice needs to be served. What they have done needs to be dealt with. They are the ones that should be sitting here charged, not her. She did not deserve this. The judge said he was convinced that the picture painted by the woman's evidence was utterly true. The most overwhelming evidence I've ever heard. It's absolutely clear the girl is not guilty of anything that she's charged here. The judge then addressed the actions of the officers. It's not part of my role, but I think there's a rare time when the court is called upon to say something. Let me put it this way, because beyond this, I'd be doing much too far for my position is, for what my position is. But I agree with the mother. This is a matter that has to be investigated in relation to the actions of those police officers. Curran said he's only made comments like this 2 or 3 times in all his years on the bench. Generally, judges don't like to go after cops. Generally. I did find something troubling about the officer's testimony when I heard it, the judge said. I couldn't put my finger on really exactly what it is, but I was troubled by it. Now I know what it is, and I had a right to be troubled. But I did not have any idea how right it would turn out to be. Now I do. In her testimony, the mother said that she called 911 a second time that night only because she wanted the paramedics to keep her daughter safe. Oh, good. Yum, that sounds good. Bully, who thinks he's a cop, beating up women. That's awesome. Linda, Betty, where are you? Don't know where you are. Nowhere to be heard. Crickets. I've never called the police, and I regret to this day that I ever let them in my house. Oh, good. More trust. I hope to God I never have to deal with a police officer again. I'm sure after what happened down, in Nova Scotia, she's feeling equally safe now. She said the officers walked into the bedroom and without saying anything tried to grab a hold of her daughter who was standing on her bed. She said her daughter turned around and dove onto her stomach. Her socked foot struck Shaw on the chin. He freaked out, she said of Shaw. He grabbed her and pulled her off the bed. She doesn't deny, foot accidentally, and that's totally probable. Oh, sorry, I used the other name. It's out there. Anyway. Genealogy trees. She said Lepin then deployed his taser. While his daughter was on the floor, and on her stomach, she said Shaw started kicking and kneeing her on the head. That was just the start of it. After the officers cuffed the girl's hands and feet. Nice. I'm sure this girl isn't huge. 110 pounds. Wow. Two big bully men who are trained to beat the piss out of anybody. Big, huge bikers are kicking the shit out of a girl. Tasing them, kneeing them. After the officers cuffed the girl's hands and feet, she said Shaw continued to kick her head, quote, over and over and over. She wasn't doing anything, she said of her 110-pound daughter. She was wriggling. What can you do when you're cuffed and on your face? I'd wriggle too, probably if I was getting kicked and kneed. Lay still. Poof, poof, poof. She said that while the right side of her daughter's face was pressed against the floor, Shaw put his foot on her head and pushed down on her. She said she also saw him kneel on her daughter's back and push down on her spine with both knees. 90% of the beating was when she was cuffed, face down on the floor, hands and feet cuffed, the woman told the court. They didn't stop. Shaw specifically didn't stop beating her, kicking her. Every mark she had was from the police officers. There's not one mark before the arrest. Lepin, a 27-year veteran of the force, testified he was the first officer to go into the bedroom. He said Shaw, who accompanied paramedics to the home an hour earlier, briefed him on the situation before they entered the house. He said that he could hear the girl screaming as they approached the house. Upon entering the bedroom, I saw her kicking, screaming, basically freaking out. She's high on acid, making mistakes like kids do. The officer said the girl jumped onto the bed, curled into the fetal position. He said that after he told her she was under arrest for breaching recognizance, she kicked him in the chest, knocking him backward into the closet. Oh, yes. Oh, 110 pounds of her. Beating. Yeah. Totally probable. I'm seeing this. Lepin said that he struggled to get to his feet in the cramped, cluttered room. His partner came in and was having difficulty getting a hold of this girl. Quote, so at that point, I deployed my conductive energy weapon to put an end to this before anybody got hurt, Lepin said. He said the direct hit by the taser knocked the girl back, giving him time to stand up. He said that he grabbed her upper body, then took her to the floor, where with Shaw's assistance, he handcuffed her wrists and then her ankles. Okay, now she's totally subdued. He said the girl continued to flail and kick. So the officers remained on top of her until the paramedics gave her a sedative. Quote, I remember looking up toward her mother and stating, we're not here to hurt your daughter. We're here to help her. Boot, boot, boot. We're helping. We'll just put some knees on her. After the girl was sedated, she was taken downstairs, placed on a stretcher for transportation to hospital. While her hands were uncuffed, Lepin said she took a swing at a female officer who arrived at the scene. On cross-examination by defense lawyer Josh Bearden, Lepin said his intention when he entered the room was to negotiate with the girl to make things better. But once I was assaulted by a 110-pound girl who just flopped down on the bed and struck my chin. And she's not listening. And she's fighting with the two of us. Yeah, with her socked feet. Then there's no time for talking. Shaw, who's been a Mountie for 9 years. Oh, that was a 9-year waste of money. Perhaps I want your underwear back too. Hopefully the family will sue. But of course that means we pay. Why are we paying for all these people? I don't want to be paying for them. They can scrub toilets. She he heard Lepin tell the girl she was under arrest before her partner was kicked in the chest. He said he saw the 2 prongs from the taser strike the girl in the midsection and the thigh. A couple seconds later, he said she pulled the prong from her midsection. Shaw said the girl lunged at Lepin, who was on his back with a look of rage in her eyes. Fuck it. Perhaps they should work. Well, they do. They could do the script writing. You know, for Campbell and all them, try and do the 3D chess or Brenda. Right with Brenda. Brenda and Betty. You know, Linda just sitting there writing it out. Well, this is what you say. Well, yeah, you say that you went to your boss, your commanding officer, and say that you heard somebody did something. And he said, you just had to have to deal with that, you damn women. You dammy dams. I'll never forget the look, Shaw said. I had no choice but step over him. I kind of made a kick at her. And hit her somewhere in her upper body. The kind that made her fly back. And at that point, we were both engaged at that time. Shaw said the girl kicked him in the head in the ensuing struggle. Well, now we've got, 3 kicks? 110 pounds from her. Yeah, right. After Lepin took the girl to the floor, Shaw said he stood on the back of her calves because she kept kicking and was flailing and her feet were going wild. He said the teen pinched his inner thigh and bit his fingers as they tried to control her. Shaw denied. Okay, do you have any proof? Oh, I think that's what the judge was having a problem with. Maybe there was none. Because they do document that kind of crap. Shaw denied kicking or stomping the girl while she was on the floor. He said the girl's mother was in and out of the room, yelling at the officers throughout the incident. Good for her. After the girl's mother complained about the incident on social media, Rcmp referred the matter to the province's Serious Incidents Response Team for an independent investigation of the officer's conduct. In a report released in September, when did this happen? Did they get that one cleared up in 3 months? The shit? Did they get that one cleared up in 3 months? Notice they have a little bit of a backlog there. They're kind of violating the law with their Rcmp officers that are investigating the other Rcmp officers. But it's independent. The shit. In a report released in September, shit director Felix Cachillon cleared the officers of criminal wrongdoing. Oh. Saying that they had the lawful authority to take the girl into custody and used reasonable and necessary force in the circumstances that they encountered. CERT said the mother's allegations of the officers unjustifiably beat her daughter by kicking and kneeing her in the head and using a taser multiple times were unsubstantiated. These allegations are not supported by the medical records, the taser records, the evidence of the paramedics, and the officers involved. The mother witnessed only bits and pieces of the interaction between her daughter and the two officers. The CERT report said. Cashionne, a retired Nova Scotia Supreme Court, who I've heard actually is actually fairly decent, but I don't know. A good guy? I don't know. Was not aware of the youth court judge's comments about the officers until he was contacted by the Chronicle Herald this week. If what Judge Curon was implying is that the officers perjured themselves. Oh, is that more lying? That is something that in the public interest, and we would be able to investigate. Oh, another investigation. Yay. Yay. I don't have a complaint before me, so I'm not going to initiate something that is not before me. If there's a complaint, then I'll look at it. You know, let's go golfing. Let's go golfing. Just make sure you write it up underneath that. Because my friend, the white shirt mafia. Yeah. We just expense that. Don't worry about it. Shh, to the pension. Shh, other members pay. Cashionne said another option for the girl and her family would be to contact Civilian Review and Complaints Commission of the RCMP. Oh, this one is good. I love this place. Whoa. An independent agency that handles public complaints about the on-duty conduct of the Mounties. Investigations and reviews. Complaint investigations. Ongoing investigations. Oh, they have, in 2020, they have one. Oh, nothing for 2 years before that. Nothing for 2 years before that. Oh, and 3 years before that. That's awesome. Oh, that's it here? Oh. Oh. Do you believe that? 4 complaints. What do these people do? 4 complaints in 7 years. Pretty fucking awesome, man. Or do they have a backload of cases? Maybe I'm just wrong. Let's see, completed investigations. Oh, they've got a few. Taser use on child. Well, that's nice. I would say, women, look at these cases all in here. Look in the shit. I'll link that below too. Take screenshots, by the way, and archive. Otherwise, it'll end up like this. Let's see. What was that site that I was mentioning the other day? Oh, yes. And I gave you the link to. Search the database. Let's see here. Remember? I used to be able to search. Oh. Oops. Now it doesn't work anymore. Funny that. Is it that somebody doesn't want people to do the research? They don't want people to see the nepotism? They don't want people to dig deeper? Well, maybe. An independent agency that handles public complaints for on-duty Mounties, Halifax District RCMP released a statement. Derp. That would be Derp, probably. Actually, this is under Janice Gray. You know, the one who badmouthed Darren Campbell's ex-wife. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she got the 2 promotions, right? Janice Gray. Wednesday, standing behind the 2 officers, Oh, surprise. So the CERT stands behind them, which is Rcmp. Rcmp stands behind Rcmp. The Halifax Rcmp stands behind Rcmp. But a judge? No. In the first instance, this investigation was referred to by the Rcmp to CERT, more Rcmp, who had decided it was not in their mandate, the statement said. When it became apparent there were continuing community concerns, CERT chose to undertake an investigation. Oh, how good of them. How good of them. Well, anybody who's not blocked, I would love to know. I put out a request the other day. I've heard maybe one person can get into it. Maybe. It's fine. You know what? Rcmp, that's fine. You know what? Probably going to get access to your quarterlies. Oh. Uh-oh. When it became apparent, okay, determined that our actions of our members were not criminal in nature, we respect the outcome of their investigation. Sorry, of whose investigation? Oh, your own investigation, right? Because the shit is Rcmp. A further administrative review of the actions of our officers has concluded that there were no breaches of Rcmp Act in accordance with the Code of Conduct. Is that the lying code of conduct? Like you could lie in court to the public, to anybody? Is that the FIDO code of conduct? The fuck it and drive on code of conduct? Because you have members in such fear? We have and will continue to fully support our members in the Halifax district. How about that? How about Janice Gray bashing? You could look at that one too. There's another good one. Didn't seem to slow him down. Wasn't she shot in her bed, I believe? 26-year-old Indigenous woman from British Columbia was fatally shot by police. She allegedly threatened, well, a wellness check in northwestern New Brunswick City early Thursday. Family of Chantel Moore said she recently moved from British Columbia to live near her mom and daughter. Her death came at the time heightened attention. Police actions and practices in the United States and Canada following the death of George Floyd. I'm not going to touch that one. Dangerous. The Edmonds Police Force said the officer went downtown apartment building, prompted and around call 2:30. The wellness check. Nora Moore's great aunt told CBC that her former boyfriend of Moore, who lives in Toronto, had asked the police to check on her. Martin said that he was concerned only because she had been harassed after being moved to her new apartment in the city. Harassed. She'd been harassed. Where's Linda and Betty? Yeah, sorry. Linda and Betty? Where are they? Oh, that's right. Crickets. Crickets. It's always crickets. Inspector Steve Robinson told reporters Moore received strange messages on Facebook. At first, the officer went to the scene, and then all of a sudden, a person just exited the apartment with a knife and was attacking the officer. He had no choice but to defend himself. The officer shot the woman, which was the one who was shot in her bed. Police have not said how many shots were fired. Okay, of course. You can't tell anybody anything. Asked how long it had been when the officer arrived in the shooting, Robin said, "I don't know, but it was really quick. We just shot her. Don't worry about it." It's like the old man not wearing a mask. Let's two officers shoot him. 73-year-old man, don't wear a mask, you get shot. They chase you down at home and shoot you. And then the people at the store feel good about it. We reported them. It was great. My staff does a fantastic job. The news release states that resuscitation was attempted, but the woman died at the scene. Robinson said that I didn't think the officer attempted to use didn't think. But do you know that there's an escalation policy for all police forces? You kind of have to do some things before you shoot them. Quote, not that I know of, but the investigation is going to uncover that, he said. Moore said he was born in Tofino, BC. I'm not even going to try. No, I'm not going to try. Sorry, my apologies to my native brethren. First Nation area of Vancouver Island. That's very sad that I don't know how to say that. Tla o qui hat. I don't know. She moved to New Brunswick after living in Port Alberni, BC. Moore was described as kind, gentle, and bubbly by her family. A statement released by the family Thursday afternoon said they are devastated. We pray and trust that the investigation... There's that word. Trust. No. The police investigating the police? Police. Was carried out justly and expeditiously, and that the... Oh no, here's another one. The truth will come out. Yeah. The statement said, until then, we ask for privacy and as we grieve this tragic and incomprehensible loss. I think a lot of times members, obviously there are members who get threatened and all kinds of other terrible things, and they do have to go through terrible things, and they have to, I've definitely heard, when they have to shoot somebody, and it's a lot to deal with. But, I don't think this is the one who was shot in her bed. Who was shot in their bed? The Edmonds police asked for an independent agency to investigate whether the officer's action complied with policing standards. New Brunswick does not have an agency like, Nova Scotia's shit or Ontario's shit that investigates police actions. Quebec Independent Police Watchdog BEI announced on Twitter that it would handle the review. That that's the threat to Quebec. An autopsy has been scheduled. Force doesn't use body cameras, of course. Robinson declined to identify the officer involved. He also said the force of the city of 16,500 along the border of Maine doesn't have body cameras. Robinson said the officer is off work and the force, is that paid? I'd presume so. Yeah, he's not proven guilty. Didn't do anything wrong. I'm just simply saying. Wait until an outside investigation is complete before a decision about suspension. The officer wasn't injured. Well, he's already come up with that. It's just possibly the furthest thing would be a suspension or expulsion. They're just going to get a few days off. Lots of good ones in here in the shit. Anyways, I won't bog you down. There are lots and lots of good cases out there that show bad members, and those bad members need to be removed. They're like the white shirt mafia and, shitty government all around, corrupt Canadian political system just gone. Bureaucrats. lifelong appointees of just trash. You know, though, the one, Dion is terrible. He's got lots of conflict of interest as the ethics commissioner. He's got a very shady history, shall we say. But the woman that was in there before, who dropped a few documents, she's good. She's good, and she knows lots of stuff. One should go and talk with her one day, if she would ever they got missing children. But I've literally found gang rapes in here, which is pretty horrendous in the shit. This one I think is an assault against names of prior intimate partners. Rcmp, car crash. 2018, seriously? Anyway, they're around. Lots and lots of them. It kind of stacks up well against the RCMP's official site. Do you remember how many there were there? There weren't that, like, piles and piles of them. This is Nova Scotia, province with 800,000. There's less people there than in my city. And there's lots of good officers, and I want to celebrate those ones. I know, because I really do understand, and I'm going to feature more stories because there's lots more. Broken Arrow, very good program to watch. But we'll go through some more other things because I want those people, those officers to feel like we got their back. We really do. And nobody's going to fuck around with them. They're going to get back to doing what they want to do and not living in fear. I do hope that you all have a fantastic evening and continue to have a great rest of the weekend. Take good care of each other and yourselves. Make sure you're eating and sleeping. I hear too often that people are not sleeping and eating. If you wish to come and join us on the Discord, that would be fantastic. Thanks very much to Steve, LTT, and Adrian. Let's see here. Just My Stupid Opinion, and also to Rage in the Cage. These guys are working really hard in the background. Also, you see Steve a lot more, but those guys are also around. So please go and support them. Steve still hasn't got 1,000 subs. What's going on there, man? Where's everybody? He should have 1,000 subs. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Let's get him 1,000 subs. Come on. Got 48 of you online. And he can go and do his... he wants legitimate people, which I totally agree with. Go and check out his stuff. If you agree with it, go and give him a sub. Please. Help him get to 1,000, because once he gets to 1,000, then he can go and he can live stream with his phone. More tech garbage. But he works hard. And, you know, he's a great dad. I'll tell you that. Fuck, man. I wish I could be... Anyways, I call him for lessons the other night. I'm like, can you help me with this? He's like, okay, this is what I need to do. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. I really do appreciate all of your continued support, all of your hard work. Holy man alive. Another 200 pictures today. And we got some good stuff coming up. So take good care. God bless.